Since COVID, has the remote working changed for you, or how does that work?
You know what's really funny? Everybody talks about like remote work like it's a new thing. But the truth is, DeepSky has been remote work since like 2009. Like when we founded it, we were doing remote work, and at that time we were almost embarrassed by it. I remember I had to like go get one of those Regis office or something because I wanted like a badass 1010 Wilshire address, right, to make me look like I'm legit. And now all of a sudden because of COVID, people are like, oh man, we need to do remote work, and then it's a new thing. It's not a new thing. But what I think is great is that it shifted the entire idea about it, right? Now everybody adapted that. Like it's okay to work from home. It's okay, like it's not. But I'm gonna tell you this, man, from 13 years that we've been around, remote work is not that easy. Because of remote work, because everybody's at home, and I've been working remotely on and off for 10, 15 years, it's hard because you're 10 feet away from your bed. And sometimes you just want to lay down, sometimes you want to go down to the kitchen, sometimes the TV's right there, the radio's right there, you just want to do things. And also, people have no respect for your boundary when you're doing remote work. Like I always remember people like, oh, you just work from home, like let me call you up, hey, let's go grab a lunch, right? And you don't have any of that. So I think because now it's the norm, as the entire workforce is moving to remote or some form of remote, accountability and metrics and measurement is even more important today. Processes, right, are even more important today, and rhythm, right? Because here's the thing, if you had a bad process or a bad review rhythm or bad accountability, because we're in the office, we can kind of get away with it. Like if I had a bad process, I can just be like, hey, Jake, let's do this. Let's take care of this real quick. I kind of jump over the process. But if you and I are in different location, we almost have to always follow that. We rely on the process. We rely on the system. We rely on the metrics, right? So now all of a sudden, I think measurement, not just financial measurement from a P&L and balance sheet perspective, but also the cascading metrics throughout your organization. Does everybody on your team understand what their job is, what they're expected of, and what the deliverable and the output is, right? Do they understand all of that? Do they know what their vital number is? Do you have a system and a rhythm to review that? I think more than ever, that is super important. I think yesterday I was literally reading about Wallstreet, about how the new generation are expecting now they're working remote or some form of remote, and then the Wallstreet CEOs are going, no, you guys are coming back to the office. And there's this, I guess, fight going on or this struggle going on. I don't think we're gonna go back to the way it was. I think we gotta make compromise one way or the other. So more than ever, as the CEO of the company, you have to understand where your employee is, how they're feeling, how they're performing, and you gotta have a way to hold them accountable and to help them succeed in your business. I'm super excited in the sense that the measure and hack system is more important than ever, because back in the days you might be able to get away with feeling if Sarah is doing her job or if David is doing his job. Nowadays you got to rely on metrics. You got to rely on the cascading metrics. You got to rely on the alignment of it. You got to rely on accountability, and you got to rely on the review, the rhythm of review, and then the change. I think it's hard, but I think hopefully in the future what's on the other side is that we go through this hardship and this learning, relearning, and this reimplementation. So then on the other side, all of it, it's not just the CEO, but the executives of the company, the leadership team, and then the staff, the employees, and the team member. I hope we get to more accountability, more output, more productivity, with less time bound to the office, and therefore more time to enjoy our lives and truly be able to do what we always say, right? Know your numbers, live your dream. I think the two of them are so closely related that you cannot have one without the other. But you got to do accountability because people are just fucking lazy.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're lazy in a bad sense. I'm saying like I'm fucking lazy. How do you find that balance, right? And I think you have to set up that system, that process, that you got to have some type of a accountability rhythm to hold everybody to, right? So it's not like you are the villain or me as the villain, but what we call at Deep Sky Measure and Hack That, the standard is the villain. What do we all agree upon? Because we can't just like not work. It's really funny. I was in Michigan, and on Friday I actually went out with my freaking brother-in-law. We went out on Friday to go golf, and the golf course was packed. And he was saying how like, hey, you know what? Before he never worked on Friday because that was his schedule and he was able to golf. But now after the whole COVID thing, after everybody started working from home, nobody's working on Friday, which is great that we're living more life. But the question is, are we still producing the same level of output? Because as the owner of the company, do I really care that you're working 5 days a week? Yes and no. Yes, only because I'm expecting the output of 5 days a week. But if you can do the same output for 5 days a week and working 2 days and leaving the other 3 days being with your family, why the fuck not?